In today's video, I'm going to give you some suggestions on some video recording software that you can use to do the screencast for the assignment in the class. I'm going to give you some suggestions on some software that's very useful and also some common configurations that will make it a lot easier to do the assignments if you choose to do the screencast version. The first software I want to tell you about is Open Broadcaster software. It's free and it runs on Windows, Mac, or Linux. You can use it on your desktop or laptop, and you just need a microphone either built into the computer or separate, and you need either the camera in your computer or a separate video cam. If you go to obsproject.com, you can download the software. It's very easy to install, and it has different options for installers depending on the platform you use. I recommend you use the MP4 container because this is a common format which is used by several editing software that you could use to edit your presentation. Also, I recommend that you use an audio sample rate of 48,000 Hertz and that you set the output resolution as 1280 by 720 pixels. I'll go into further detail about how you do this later in the presentation. Now, you can just do the presentation using OBS. However, if you want to add a little bit more detail to your presentation by adding a banner at the very beginning and also by adding maybe a little bit of music in the background or some other things like that, you'll want to be able to use an editing software. One very good editing software that I've found is HitFilm for Express. And again, this is a freeware, and this will work on either Windows or Mac, but it has to be a 64-bit version of Windows or Mac. And you need a desktop or laptop with greater than 4 gigabytes of RAM, and you need to have a decent graphics card and processor. So you can use as low as i3 Intel processor. And for the video input, this is again where you're going to use that MP4 configuration. And the format that MP4 that it accepts is the H.264 format. For the audio, if you're going to choose to put music or other things inside there, you want to be sure to use MP3. If you do choose to use audio, make sure that you use a royalty-free audio piece and make sure to give attribution to that audio if it's necessary. YouTube has a lot of free audio that you can use, royalty-free audio that you can include in your presentations. The output for the HitFilm for Express is again going to be an MP4, which is an H.264 format. You can visit HitFilm for Express to download the program at hitfilm.com/express. I also included a very useful tutorial link that I found personally useful to be able to understand how to use the software. Some other very useful software when you're doing audio and video recording is the VLC Media Player and Audacity. Again, both of these are freeware. And VLC is very useful because you can separate both your video and your audio out of that MP4 container. And so then you can just use segments of the audio or just use segments of your video. The other thing that you can do, once you separate the audio and the video, then you can take the audio and put it into Audacity, and you can do noise reduction. And you can also apply filters. You would want to do this because if you don't have a very good microphone, there tends to be electronic noise that you get in the microphone that will end up showing up in the recording. I'll actually show you differences between this noise reduced version that you're hearing now and the non-noise reduced version. So again, both these are very good softwares to get just in general. If you don't use them, that's okay too. If you do download Audacity, I recommend that you download the lame MP3 encoder. This is very useful because it allows you to save different audio files as an MP3. Alright, so that concludes my presentation on the different softwares, and I'll give you another video to show you how to use OBS. Thanks for listening.